All right, let's dive into another deep dive. Today we're taking a look at chiropractic care in Oakland.
Oh, interesting.
You sent over some really fascinating excerpts.
Yeah.
And honestly, I've got to admit, my knowledge about chiropractic care is pretty basic, so I'm excited to learn more.
Well, it is interesting how chiropractic care is often misunderstood.
Yeah.
Some people think it's alternative or even mystical, but it's really grounded in a specific philosophy about the body's ability to heal itself.
Okay, so let's start there.
Okay.
What's the core of this philosophy? What's it all about?
So, chiropractic philosophy, it really emphasizes the musculoskeletal system,
Okay.
particularly the spine,
Mm-hmm.
and how it's all connected to the nervous system.
I see.
So the idea is that when your spine is properly aligned, your nervous system can function at its best.
Right.
And that allows your body to heal and regulate itself more effectively.
So then it's not just about, like, cracking bones to relieve back pain.
No, no, not at all. Back pain is definitely a common reason why people seek out chiropractic care,
Sure.
but it's much more than that.
Oh.
Chiropractors use a variety of techniques, and spinal adjustments are one of the more well-known.
Yeah.
But the goal is to address these misalignments that can really interfere with your body's natural healing process.
You mentioned spinal adjustments. Can you kind of break down what those are and how they work?
Yeah, so a spinal adjustment, you might hear it called a chiropractic adjustment. It's this very precise and controlled force that's applied to a joint,
Okay.
often in the spine, to restore proper movement and function.
Mm.
You can think of it like a finely tuned instrument. When everything's aligned correctly, it just works harmoniously.
Yeah,
But if something's out of tune, it can affect the overall performance.
that's a great analogy.
Yeah.
So are chiropractors like mechanics for the body? Just like making sure everything's running smoothly?
Yeah, you could say that. They use their hands or specialized instruments to apply these adjustments.
Huh.
And the goal is to relieve pain, improve mobility, and ultimately really enhance your body's ability to heal itself.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, what about all these other conditions that chiropractors treat?
Yeah.
Because the excerpts you sent mentioned headaches, sciatica, even posture issues.
Yeah.
It seems like a really diverse range.
It is. It's beneficial for a wide range of conditions, and that's because the nervous system is involved in so many bodily functions.
Right.
So when your spine is misaligned, it can actually put pressure on nerves,
Hmm.
which disrupts those functions and can lead to various symptoms.
So by addressing those misalignments,
Yeah.
chiropractors can kind of restore the proper nerve function and alleviate those symptoms.
Exactly.
So it's not just about treating the symptoms, but it's about getting to the root of the problem.
Exactly.
I
And
get-
that's what kind of sets chiropractic care apart from other healthcare approaches. It's understanding this interconnectedness of the body and really working to optimize its natural healing abilities.
I can see why people would be drawn to chiropractic care.
Yeah.
It seems like a really holistic approach to health.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you mentioned earlier that chiropractors use, a variety of techniques besides spinal adjustments.
Right.
Can you give me some examples?
Absolutely. Soft tissue therapy is another common technique,
Okay.
and this involves working on muscles, fascia, and tendons
Hmm.
to release tension, improve flexibility.
Okay.
You also might see modalities like ultrasound or electrical stimulation
Okay.
used to reduce inflammation, promote healing.
So it's not just bones and joints, it's the whole musculoskeletal system.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And a lot of chiropractors will also incorporate exercises and stretches into their treatment plans
Gotcha.
to help patients strengthen muscles, improve posture, and prevent, future problems.
It's a very comprehensive approach.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Oakland specifically now. Because the excerpts mentioned that Oakland has this really vibrant and diverse chiropractic scene.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, Oakland is known for its diverse population, and it
Mhm.
really embraces holistic health practices.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising that chiropractic care has flourished there.
Right.
You'll find a wide range of clinics and practitioners catering to different needs and preferences.
I see.
Some clinics focus on specific conditions like sports injuries,
Okay.
prenatal care,
Yeah.
while others offer a more general approach to wellness.
So there's something for everyone.
Yeah, pretty much.
What are some of the specific clinics mentioned in the excerpts?
Well, one that stood out was Oakland Chiropractic and Sports Medicine.
Okay.
And as the name suggests, they specialize in treating athletes.
Makes sense with Oakland's strong sports culture.
Right, yeah.
What about other clinics?
We also saw Montclair Village Chiropractic,
Okay.
which seems to have a more family-oriented approach. Their website mentions services for all ages, infants to seniors,
Wow.
and they emphasize gentle techniques and a welcoming atmosphere.
So that sounds like a great option for families
Yeah.
who are looking for a more personalized approach.
Yeah.
Were there any others that you found interesting?
Yeah, Thrive Chiropractic and Wellness seems to have a very holistic approach.
Okay.
They incorporate nutrition counseling and lifestyle advice alongside traditional chiropractic techniques.
So it's not just addressing the physical symptoms, it's also
Mm,
about empowering patients to take control of their overall health.
exactly.
Interesting.
And that's actually a common thread I've noticed in a lot of the Oakland chiropractic clinics.
Yeah,
A focus on patient education and empowerment.
that's fantastic. It sounds like Oakland really embraces the full spectrum of chiropractic care.
It does.
Wow. Well, this has been a fascinating intro to this world.
Yeah.
I'm learning so much already, and I'm starting to see why it appeals to such a diverse group of people. But we've only just scratched the surface.
Welcome back to our deep dive on chiropractic care in Oakland. I'm really intrigued by how chiropractic care seems to bring together this understanding of the body's structure, but also a holistic view of wellness.
Yeah, that's one of the things I find so fascinating about this field. It's not just about treating, a specific symptom. It's about understanding how everything is connected. Like, think about how your posture can impact breathing or how stress can manifest as muscle tension.
That's a great point. We tend to compartmentalize our health, right? Physical, mental, emotional, but really it's all intertwined, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And chiropractic care really recognizes that. We touched on the variety of techniques used, but I want to talk a little bit more about how chiropractors tailor their approach to each individual.
I'd love to hear more about that. So let's say someone walks into a chiropractor's office for the first time. What can they expect? Right. So a good chiropractor, they'll start by taking a really detailed history, asking about your symptoms, your lifestyle, your overall health goals. They'll likely do a physical exam to assess your posture, range of motion, and, any areas of pain or restriction.
It sounds very thorough. Is that where the diagnostic tools come in, like x-rays?
Yes, sometimes it depends on your condition and the chiropractor's assessment, but they might recommend imaging, like x-rays, to get a clearer picture of your spine and other joints. It helps them identify any underlying structural issues that need to be addressed.
So it's not just like, feeling around for sore spots. There's a real science behind it.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's one of the things I appreciate about this field. It blends, scientific knowledge with a very hands-on, individualized approach.
You mentioned earlier that chiropractors might use different techniques for spinal adjustments. Can you give some specific examples?
Sure. One commonly used technique is called the diversified technique. And this involves, high velocity, low amplitude thrusts. They're applied to specific joints. Another one is the Gonstead technique, which focuses on adjusting the pelvis and lower back. And there are also gentler methods like the activator technique, which uses a handheld instrument to deliver a controlled impulse.
Wow, there are so many options. How does a chiropractor decide which technique is best for a particular patient?
It really depends on a number of factors, the patient's condition, their comfort level, and the chiropractor's training and expertise.
Makes sense. So it's really about finding a chiropractor who you trust and who understands your individual needs.
Exactly. Now, moving beyond spinal adjustments, we should talk more about those soft tissue therapies.
Yes, you mentioned those earlier, and I'm curious to learn more.
Yeah, so chiropractors might use a variety of soft tissue techniques. For example, myofascial release, which focuses on releasing tension in the fascia. That's that connective tissue that surrounds your muscles and organs.
That sounds intriguing. What are some other techniques they might use?
Another common one is active release technique, or RT. And this involves applying pressure to specific points in the muscles while the patient actively moves the affected limb or body part.
That sounds very, very hands-on and targeted. What's the goal of these soft tissue therapies?
The goal is to reduce muscle tension, improve circulation, and restore proper movement patterns. They can be really helpful for addressing chronic pain, injuries, and even postural imbalances.
So it's really about addressing those soft tissues that can often contribute to musculoskeletal problems.
Exactly. And by combining these techniques with spinal adjustments and other modalities, chiropractors can create a really comprehensive and personalized treatment plan.
I'm starting to get a much clearer picture of how diverse the chiropractic toolbox really is.
It is, and it's constantly evolving as research reveals new insights and techniques.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about some of the specific benefits of chiropractic care. We've already discussed pain relief, but But what else can it help with?
Well, one area where chiropractic care has shown promising results is in headache relief. Studies have shown that spinal manipulations can be effective for treating tension headaches and migraines, especially when combined with other therapies like massage or lifestyle modifications.
That's interesting, because headaches are often thought of as being caused by tension or stress, not necessarily spinal misalignments.
That's true, but tension and stress can often manifest as muscle tension in the neck and shoulders, which can then contribute to headaches. So by releasing that tension, restoring proper alignment, chiropractic care can help kind of break that cycle.
I see. So it's about addressing those underlying musculoskeletal imbalances that can trigger or exacerbate headaches.
Exactly. Now, moving beyond headaches, chiropractic care has also shown potential for helping with conditions like sciatica, that type of pain that radiates from the lower back down the leg.
Sciatica can be incredibly debilitating, so it's encouraging to hear that chiropractic care might be able to help.
Yeah, it often stems from a compressed nerve in the lower back. So, spinal adjustments, along with other therapies, can help alleviate that pressure and reduce pain.
That makes sense. Now, what about carpal tunnel syndrome? That's another condition that I think people often associate with, repetitive stress or overuse. Can chiropractic care help with that as well?
Yes, it can. Carpal tunnel syndrome is caused by pressure on the median nerve, which runs through the wrist. And while it is often associated with repetitive hand movements, sometimes misalignments in the neck or upper spine can actually contribute to nerve compression in the wrist. So by addressing those misalignments and releasing tension in the muscles and fascia of the arm and wrist, chiropractic care can help alleviate carpal tunnel symptoms.
Wow, I had no idea there could be a connection between the neck and carpal tunnel syndrome. That's really fascinating.
Yeah, it highlights how interconnected our bodies really are and how seemingly unrelated issues can sometimes stem from a common source.
Absolutely. Now, we've talked a lot about the physical benefits of chiropractic care, but you mentioned earlier that it also takes this holistic approach, considering the mental and emotional aspects of health as well. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. So, when your body's in pain or not functioning optimally, it can really take a toll on your mental and emotional well-being. It's hard to be happy and productive when you're constantly dealing with discomfort or limitations, right? So by addressing those physical issues, chiropractic care can often lead to improvements in mood, sleep, and overall sense of well-being.
So it's like this ripple effect. Improving physical health can have these positive consequences for mental and emotional health as well.
Exactly. And some chiropractors even incorporate stress management techniques, like mindfulness or breathing exercises, into their treatment plans to really help patients address those mental and emotional components of their health challenges.
That's fantastic. It really speaks to that comprehensive and personalized nature of chiropractic care.
It does, and it's why more and more people are turning to chiropractic care as a way to not just treat symptoms, but to really optimize their overall health and well-being.
Well, we've covered so much ground today, from the science behind chiropractic adjustments to the diverse range of techniques and this impressive list of potential benefits. But there's still so much more to explore. Welcome back to our deep dive into chiropractic care here in Oakland. We've talked about the philosophy, the techniques, and all the potential benefits.
Yeah,
But now I'm really excited to actually hear some real-life stories
me too.
about how chiropractic care is making a difference for people right here in Oakland.
I agree. Stories, they really bring it all to life.
Yeah.
It's one thing to understand the concepts, but hearing how they translate into real-world experiences, that's what makes it click.
Exactly. So let's dive into those stories.
Got
I'm
it.
particularly curious about uh, uh, how different groups are benefiting from chiropractic care. We mentioned pregnant women, athletes, seniors. So what kind of transformations are we seeing in those groups?
Well, for pregnant women, I recently came across this case study
Okay.
from an Oakland clinic
Uh-huh.
about a woman named Sarah.
Okay.
And she was dealing with some really severe lower back pain during her second trimester.
Oh, wow.
And she was really hesitant to take medication,
Yeah,
because of the potential risks to the baby.
totally understandable.
Often,
Especially during pregnancy, you want to be as cautious as possible.
right.
So how did chiropractic care help Sarah?
So the chiropractor used this combination of gentle adjustments
Okay.
and soft tissue work
Okay.
to address her pelvic misalignment
Mm-hmm.
and release tension in her lower back muscles.
Right.
And the case study said that after just a few sessions, her pain decreased significantly. and
Wow.
she was able to move around much more comfortably.
That's amazing. It's a good reminder that chiropractic care can be a really safe, effective pain relief option during pregnancy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, the excerpts also mention potential benefits for labor and delivery.
Oh, right.
Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, some research suggests that chiropractic care during pregnancy might actually help prepare the body for labor
Okay.
by optimizing pelvic alignment
Mm-hmm.
and reducing stress on the uterus.
I see.
So a well-aligned pelvis, it can create more space for the baby to descend,
Right.
which could potentially lead to a smoother, less painful labor.
Fascinating. Makes sense that a properly aligned pelvis would make a difference during childbirth.
Yeah.
Now, what about athletes?
Okay.
We talked about performance enhancement.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any examples of how chiropractic care has helped Oakland athletes achieve their goals?
Well, one story that comes to mind is this local runner.
Wow.
He was struggling with recurring hamstring injuries,
Oh, tough.
and it was really frustrating for him
Yeah, I bet.
because the injuries kept, sidelining him,
Right.
preventing him from training consistently. So he found a chiropractor who specialized in sports injuries.
Okay, so I'm guessing the chiropractor didn't just focus on the hamstring?
No, you're right. The chiropractor took this holistic approach,
Uh-huh.
assessed the runner's biomechanics,
Right.
and he identified these underlying imbalances in his hips and spine
Yeah,
that were actually contributing to the hamstring strain.
interesting.
So through adjustments, soft tissue work, and targeted exercises, they were able to, help him improve his alignment,
Mhm.
increase his flexibility,
Yeah.
strengthen those supporting muscles around his hamstrings.
So really getting to the root of the problem, not just treating the symptom.
Exactly.
Did it work?
It did. The case study reported that he was able to return to training
Wow.
without pain,
That's great.
and he even achieved a personal best in his next marathon.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, he really credits the chiropractor
Yeah.
with helping him understand the importance of overall body mechanics and not just focusing on isolated muscle groups.
That's great. What a great example of how chiropractic care can help athletes not just recover from injuries, but prevent future ones and
Okay.
reach their full potential.
Exactly.
Now let's shift gears and talk about seniors.
Okay.
As we age, our bodies change,
Yeah,
and we may experience more aches, pains, and stiffness.
it happens.
So how can chiropractic care help seniors maintain their quality of life?
Well, there's a lot of ways. Think about how important mobility is for seniors.
Yeah,
Being able to move freely and easily,
absolutely.
it's crucial for maintaining independence, engaging in activities, and just feeling good.
Right. So how does chiropractic care address those age-related changes?
So as we get older, it's common for joints to become stiffer, range of motion decreases, and posture can change.
Mm-hmm.
Chiropractic care can help address those issues by improving joint mobility,
Okay.
reducing pain and stiffness, and even improving balance.
So it's not just pain relief, it's really about maintaining overall function and mobility.
Exactly.
Do you have any specific examples of how chiropractic care has helped seniors in Oakland?
Yeah, one that comes to mind is this story about an elderly woman
Okay.
who had been dealing with arthritis in her knees.
Oh, wow.
And the pain was so severe that she was having difficulty walking, going up and down stairs, even getting in and out of chairs.
That sounds incredibly limiting.
It was.
So how did chiropractic care help her?
The chiropractor used a combination of gentle adjustments to improve her spinal alignment, which took some pressure off her knees,
I see.
and also soft tissue work to release tension in those surrounding muscles.
Okay.
And it really highlighted how she was able to regain a lot of her lost mobility
Wow.
and even start gardening again, something she hadn't been able to do for years.
That's so heartwarming. It's a reminder that it's never too late to improve your health and your quality of life.
It's not.
It's amazing how chiropractic care can really empower people of all ages to reclaim their mobility and independence.
I agree. It's about helping people live their lives to the fullest, regardless of age or physical limitations.
Well, we've covered so much ground today. I feel like I have a much deeper understanding of chiropractic care, not just the science behind it, but also the human stories that really bring it all to life.
It's been a fascinating exploration,
Yeah.
from the importance of spinal health
Mm-hmm.
to the range of techniques and those transformative stories.
Yeah,
It's clear that chiropractic care has a lot to offer.
absolutely. And what resonates most with me is the emphasis on the body's innate healing ability.
Yeah.
It's empowering to think we have this incredible capacity to heal and thrive when given the right support.
I couldn't agree more. And chiropractic care seems to really tap into that potential.
It does. Well, we've reached the end of our deep dive into chiropractic care in Oakland.
Well, this was fun.
It was. I hope you found this exploration as insightful and inspiring as I have.
Yeah, and if you're curious to learn more or explore if chiropractic care might be right for you, I encourage you to do some research. Maybe reach out to a qualified practitioner in your area.
That's great advice.
Mhm.
Thanks for joining us on this journey of discovery. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.